So A.D. Robles is a very helpful guy, and you might not believe it. If you don't like me, especially, you probably won't believe it. But at the end of the day, I consider my role here on the internet, I'm just here to help, honestly. And I know you think I'm joking because of my tone. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I want to help you. And here's some unsolicited advice that I think you really should consider and you should take to heart. Because the reality is that ignoring what's happening or just kind of spiraling into a "you're a racist" seizure, like that's not going to cut it. Because the reality is your congregations are going to be talking about these things. They're going to be searching out answers for these things, and you need to pay attention to this. Yeah, so here's a tweet. I was actually going to do a video about this topic anyway, but then I saw a perfect tweet from Stephen Wolfe about this, and I think it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect, and I want to explain myself a little bit. So here's Jacob Den Hollander, stay-at-home dad, I think. I retract that. I don't know that he's a stay-at-home dad. But anyway, he does answer to his wife. In any case, he's saying, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest he use your outrage to amplify his foolishness in the ears who inevitably buy his book, which is all he wanted anyway. So he's talking about the new Christian nationalism book, which is flying up the charts right now, at least from a Christian perspective, flying up the charts. He's talking about this book. I have my own copy already. I was kind enough to get a advanced reader's copy. I haven't started it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I will be doing that soon. In any case, and this is the thing, like, Stephen Wolfe says this: whether you ignore it or whether you dismiss it as foolish, whether you lie about it, no matter what you do, your congregation is going to be reading it, talking about it, and sharing it. Now, I wasn't thinking about Christian nationalism per se when I was thinking about this topic, but I was thinking about a few specific things that are happening right now, and I'm just going to go out and say it. Kanye's talking about Jewish people and the Jewish media conglomerates, and there's a lot of talk about interethnic marriage, interethnic relationships. And, as a pastor, here's my advice. You need to get out in front of this. And it's not going to do any good to ignore it. And it's not going to do any good to, again, spiral into racist. Like, that's not going to do you any good because your congregation is going to take this stuff seriously. In fact, they already are. For some reason, A.D. Robles, I don't know why. You might be surprised to know this, but I'm the guy that my friends and also people that I'm not friends with, just people on the internet that know me, I'm the guy that they come to with what they perceive as an embarrassing question or an embarrassing belief. Like if somebody is, not really buying what NASA is spitting out there every day, they come to me to ask me my opinion, right? When somebody wants to know about, things that, things that you guys would poo-poo and rip them for even considering, things that the media calls conspiracy theorists or unacceptable ideas, like they trust me to get my opinion. They say, look, can we talk candidly? And I always say yes. And for some reason, I'm that guy and I think what I think it is because they know that I'm crazier than they are. So they feel safe with me because I'm a little crazier. Whatever they believe about NASA, I probably believe something even crazier. So anyway, I'm that guy. So I know that your congregations already have a lot of these thoughts. They're already thinking about this. They're already confused. They're already looking for answers. And I would argue that you would probably want to get out in front of this because otherwise they're going to go on YouTube and they're going to talk to me. Or they're going to go on 4chan and they're going to talk to someone on 4chan. You might not like what they find out there. There's two things, interethnic marriage and this whole situation with the Jewish media. You guys got to start engaging with this seriously because your congregation definitely is. So they're wondering, why is Kanye West saying that Puff Daddy's controlled by, because they're not buying the whole, oh, he's just crazy. Like they've seen that play run so many times now on people that they know for a fact, because people don't know Kanye, right? A lot of people don't know who Kanye is. And every time he talks, he doesn't sound crazy. He sounds reasonable, but they don't know him. But they've seen this smear play run on so many people that they do know. Oh, that guy's just crazy. And you're like, I know him. He's not crazy. They've seen it. So they know that that's just a play, right? And so they're going to start asking questions about this. You probably want to get out in front of that stuff. I'm not telling you what you need to say, but I'm pretty sure that spiraling into the racism spiral isn't going to help. Screeching like a woman isn't going to help. And I shouldn't say like a woman because women don't screech, but screeching like a crazy woman isn't going to help. And this interethnic marriage thing, people have noticed the pattern, right? Like the media and all of our enemies, the pagans, they're pushing abortion. They say that if you don't have abortion, you can't be a progressive society. They're pushing homosexuality. If you can't have homosexuality, you can't be a progressive society. They're pushing transgenderism. If you can't have transgenderism and body mutilation and gender hormones, you can't have a progressive society. They're pushing these things, and they're all evil. It's like evil, evil, evil. And then they're also pushing interethnic marriages. Like, when was the last time you saw a commercial that didn't have an interethnic marriage, right? And this is, I'm not against interethnic, I'm in one, right? I mean, I have a white wife, I love her. So I'm in one, and I'm not, and here's the thing, guys, like people are noticing, they're wondering, why do my enemies think this is so important, right? Why are my enemies pushing this? Here's the question, by the way, pastors, before I could see some of you are starting to seize up a little bit. You're racist! I could see it. Here's what they're not asking. They're not asking, does the Bible allow interethnic marriages? Pretty much everyone agrees that it does. Pretty much everyone agrees that it's morally acceptable to marry someone that's a different ethnicity than you. Pretty much everyone agrees with that, right? Most people don't, though. Most people don't marry someone of a different ethnicity. That's just common. That's just what normally happens, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing that we need to debug from that. And it's not racism. It's just a matter of preference. Most black men marry black women. Nothing wrong with that. Most white men marry white women. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So those are the questions we're not asking, right? But you do need to start getting out in front of, well, why is it that the same people that have such poor morality, and they have they mean such evil for us. They're pushing abortion, they're pushing homosexuality, they're pushing transgenderism. Why is it that this is also something they're pushing? What do they see as why does this benefit them, I guess, in other words? Because they're obviously not doing it because it's the right thing to do. Right? That's something that your congregation already knows, right? They already know that our enemies don't push interethnic marriages because it's good, and they're good people. We understand that that's not the case. So what are they attempting to do by pushing these kinds of relationships? That's a question that I would suggest you get out in front of, because otherwise they're going to come on YouTube. And you know what? They might not find me, and my answer would be great. And we're gonna have a video about that. That's not this video, but there's a video about that I've got in the works. So they might not find me though. They might find someone else, and you're not gonna like what they find. And so remember, when you're answering these questions, don't rage spiral, don't racism spiral, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and don't, what was this first one I said? Ignore it, I guess. Ignore it, right. Yeah, don't ignore it, because people are going to ask these questions. We're going to be talking about this amongst ourselves, and you probably want to get in on that at the beginning rather than at the end, because at the end, it might be something you can't control anymore. In any case, I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.